Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 16 Seahawks vs Vikings predictions. Now, without a further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the Seahawks injury report, starting with tight end Brady Russell with a foot injury, linebacker Travis Gibson with an ankle injury, and safety Kavon Wallace with an ankle injury, all out for this game. Then moving on to running back Zach Charbonnet with an oblique injury, running back Kenneth Walker with a calf injury, wide receiver DK Metcalf with a shoulder injury, center Olu Oluwatini with a knee injury, defensive end Leonard Williams with a foot injury, cornerback Trey Brown with a hamstring injury, tight end Noah Fant with a knee injury, linebacker Ernest Jones with a knee injury, tackle Abraham Lucas with a knee injury, tight end AJ Barner with a knee injury, quarterback Geno Smith with a knee injury, and defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins with an illness. Now, when it comes down to it, obviously, losing Russell is not that big of a deal. Honestly, losing Gibson and Wallace as well, not that big of a deal. Obviously, it hinders the defense more than the offense, as honestly, Brady Russell is more of a backup tight end or a rotational one at that. So I'm not really expecting much to hinder the Seahawks in any way. So I'm going to say this, even though it hinders a little bit defense, it's not going to be that much of a problem. Now, moving on to the Seahawk offense, we got quarterback Geno Smith, running back Kenneth Walker, wide receivers DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Tyler Lockett. Tight end is Noah Fant, left tackle Charles Cross, left guard Laken Tomlinson, center Olu Oluwatini, right guard Sataoa Lamea, I think that's how you say it, right tackle Abraham Lucas. Now, when it comes down to it, this offense, the offensive line, I'm a bit worried about it, honestly. Geno Smith coming off an injury last week against the Packers. He's looking good to play in today's game, but still, it's a little bit worrisome. Otherwise, Kenneth Walker, probably over 100 yards today, and the receiving core is not going to get over 200 yards, probably around that, somewhere around that. So it's going to be more of Njigba and Metcalf, like always. These two are the top two receivers, the duo in Seattle. It used to be Metcalf and Lockett. Now it's Njigba and Metcalf. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a very good game for the run game for the Seattle Seahawks, because even though the Seattle Seahawks quarterback had gotten injured and probably won't be throwing as much in today's game, honestly, we have two good running backs in Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker to just run over the Vikings defense. Now, moving on to the defense of the Seattle Seahawks, starting with defensive ends Jarran Reed and Leonard Williams, nose tackle Jonathan Hankins, weak side linebacker Derek Hall, inside linebacker Trice Knight, Ernest Jones IV, and then we got strong safety Boye Mafe, cornerback Tariq Woolen and Trey Brown, Devin Witherspoon at nickelback, free safety Julian Love, and strong safety Kobe Bryant. Now, when it comes down to it, honestly, very good defensive line in Reed and Leonard and sometimes Hankins. And then off the edge, you got Hall, Mafe, Nwosu. That's going to be deadly for the Seattle Seahawks pass rush. They're going to be at Sam Darnold all day, hopefully. Then you get Knight, the rookie, and Ernest Jones right there in the middle. I'm not really that much it's like 50-50 for me when it comes to those two. And obviously you got Tariq Woolen, who's been all right this year. Trey Brown, same thing, and Devin Witherspoon as well. But then you get Julian Love, who has been a beast at the free safety position, and Kobe Bryant at strong safety, who has been a lot better than Rayshon out there in the strong safety position. My opinion is that the Seattle Seahawks need to pressure Sam Darnold into throwing bad throws. Honestly, make this guy think he's back with the Jets. Make him see ghosts at this point. Because, honestly, this is going to be insanely good if the Seahawks use Hall, Nwosu, Mafe in the right way and bull rush the rest of the defensive line. Bull rush everyone back. And hopefully, we get enough pressure on the Minnesota Vikings that they will be either forced to run the ball or that they'll be stopped and maybe will cause some turnovers And hopefully, the Seahawks defense is able to stop the offense of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, moving on to the injury report of the Minnesota Vikings, we got cornerback Fabian Moreau with a hip injury, defensive lineman Jalen Redmond with a concussion, and they're both out for the game. Then moving on to safety Harrison Smith and fullback CJ Ham. With a foot and ankle injury respectively, they are both questionable for the game. Then moving on to linebacker Patrick Jones with a knee injury, offensive tackle Brian O'Neill with a knee injury, defensive lineman Harrison Phillips with a knee injury, linebacker Dallas Turner with a knee injury, cornerback Stephon Gilmore with a hamstring injury, tight end Josh Oliver with a wrist injury, and offensive tackle David Kesenberry with an oblique injury. Now, when it comes down to it, I honestly believe that the Minnesota Vikings are going to suffer more on the defense than the offense. Obviously, losing Moreau and Redmond are two big losses. But then you possibly lose Harrison Smith at the strong safety position. That's going to be tough. CJ Ham, not that big of a deal. But everyone else is. And that's all defense. And that is the big issue with the Vikings right now. Like, on offense, they're good. They got Jones, they got Jefferson, they got Addison, they got Hawkinson, they got a good line. They're all good there. Defense, they got some good players. But are those good players going to be enough to take down the Seahawks offense? Now, moving on to the offense of the Minnesota Vikings, we got quarterback Sam Darnold, running back Aaron Jones, fullback CJ Ham, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jalen Naylor at wide receiver. Then we get tight end TJ Hawkinson, left tackle, Cam Robinson, Blake Rendell at left guard, center Garrett Bradbury, right guard will be Dalton Reisner, and then we get Brian O'Neill at right tackle. Now, when it comes down to it, they got a good offensive line. I've said this before. And then you got Aaron Jones in that backfield. Now, Jones has not been the same guy that he was in Green Bay, but he's still not a bad running back. So, not really that big of a deal. But he is a good running back, good enough to get through the holes of the Seahawks defense. So hopefully our run defense can stop him. But then you got to then worry about Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson. These are the top three receiving threats of the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold has honestly had a year with these guys. These guys have been all good, and realistically, I don't see much of a change in this game than any other. They're going to be looking for those guys downfield, maybe middle of the field, but in the end, it's all really come down to if the Seahawks can stop the receivers like Jefferson and Addison, or if they'll get screwed over. Now, moving on to the defense of the Minnesota Vikings, we got defensive ends Jerry Tillery, Jonathan Bullard, nose tackle Harrison Phillips, weak side linebacker Jonathan Greenard, inside linebackers Kamu Greer-Hill and Blake Cashman. Strong safety, we got Andrew Van Ginkel, corners Stephon Gilmore and Shaquille Griffin, nickelback Byron Murphy, free safety Cameron Byam, and strong safety Harrison Smith. But if Smith cannot go, Jay Ward will take over. Now, when it comes down to it, they've got, even though they've lost Redmond, Moreau, and potentially going to lose Smith in this game, I don't think they will, but still, that's still a very big hindrance. One, to the offensive line, and two, to the secondary. It's not that Moreau is the elite cornerback in the Minnesota Vikings secondary, but still, he's still a very good corner, and that just means one less corner on the field or backing up the current corners like Gilmore and Griffin, but still. And then you get Harrison Smith in that backfield, at least at the strong safety position. Smith has been an outstanding strong safety for the Vikings for years, and without him, I don't think they're going to be much of a threat in the secondary. They're going to have to go against Metcalf, they're going to have to go against Ninjigba, Noah Fant, all that. And without him, maybe you get Jay Ward doing something, but honestly, it's hard to say that they will do anything good without Harrison Smith. And when it comes down to it, I think that if they don't blitz Greenard and Van Ginkel, Seattle might as well win this game outright. Now, in conclusion, I have this game going in favor of the Seattle Seahawks 24-26. I think we're going to be seeing a game-sealing interception by Devin Witherspoon, and it will be over for the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, they are still in the playoff run, but I think that this might actually help us because I think the Los Angeles Rams will most likely beat the the New York Jets today, but still, that will keep us in the race. We would probably have to win this next game after that and win our week 18 matchup with the LA Rams in order to make the playoffs. Like, we have to win out, to be honest, to even make it. But to win the division, we have to win out and hope that we have the same record as the LA Rams before week 18, or sorry, at week 18. That way we beat them, we have a better record, and then we're in the playoffs as the division champions. But first things first, we gotta beat Minnesota. Now, that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also, tell me down in the comments below, who do you think will win and who do you think will lose? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.